So hi everyone, I hope you are doing well, and I think my voice is absolutely clear. You can see me properly, you can hear me properly. So good afternoon everyone, Adil, Ayush. So I hope you all have given this test, and this test was something moderate, not too much easy, not too much difficult, and I hope you have done well in this test. So as we know that FMG exam is approaching, it's scheduled for January, 17 January. Many students will be thinking, sir, कि कैसे होगा, how we will be able to do it. Remember, if you want to climb a mountain, you have to take a first step. So सारी एंजाइटी और टेंशन को असाइड रखिए, बी मेंटली स्ट्रांग and start giving all the tests, start revising your notes and do as much as MCQs as possible. ठीक है, मेहनत करेंगे तो क्यों नहीं होगा. So let's start our session. So the first question of our test was, in which route the drug undergoes the first pass metabolism in liver? So what answer you have marked, beta? So the answer of this question is oral route. Okay, answer of this question is oral route. Okay. Now let's recapitulate. Remember, when you give any drug orally, either the drug will go to stomach or the drug will go into small intestine. And remember, most of the drugs, they get absorbed from small intestine because of greater surface area. The drug from stomach and small intestine comes into a vein known as portal vein, and this portal vein drains into liver. We all know portal vein drains into liver, and liver identifies this drug as a foreign substance. So before a drug can reach to the heart, the liver degrades this drug. This is known as first pass effect, also known as first pass metabolism or pre-systemic metabolism. So can we say now less amount of the drug from liver will come into inferior vena cava and less amount of drug will reach to the heart. जब drug heart में पहुंचता है, we call it as bioavailability. So can we say first pass metabolism of a drug reduces the availability of a drug inside the body? It reduces bioavailability. Okay, so it is the oral route. While all other route, remember बाकी सारे routes में the drug directly goes to the heart. Liver does not come in between, so it is only oral route. So if a drug has a very high first pass metabolism in liver, would you like to give this drug orally to your patient? The answer is no. बेकार में drug degrade हो जाएगा, तो आप orally क्यों दोगे? So remember, some drugs are not given orally because of high first pass metabolism in liver. बट अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, इफ आई वांट टू आस्क यू, सर देयर इज सम कंपल्शन कि हमें ड्रग को ओरली देना ही देना है, विल यू गिव इन नॉर्मल डोज और हाई डोज? If you want to give a drug which has a very high first pass metabolism, you will give in normal dose or high dose. More than the required dose we give a drug. So remember, any drug which has a high first pass metabolism, either they are not given orally or they are given in very high oral dose. So this is a separate question for FMG exam. Why lignocaine is not given orally? This is a separate MCQ. Remember, lignocaine is not given orally. Lignocaine arrhythmia wala drug hai, given in ventricular fibrillation because of high first pass metabolism in liver. Another question, which opioid is not given orally? आपके FMG में सवाल आया था that fentanyl is given by all routes except fentanyl is not given orally. How we can remember? We can remember with the mnemonic first pass metabolism in liver. ऐसे याद करेंगे, लिवर में फर्स्ट पास मेटाबॉलिज्म होता है L for lignocaine, first pass metabolism means fentanyl. Just try to remember, propranolol is given in high oral dose. Propranolol beta blocker is given in high oral dose. I hope you are absolutely clear with this concept. Next question, very frequently asked. Forced alkaline diuresis is done for the poisoning of anyone. What is the answer? Remember, the answer of this question was acetaminophen. आंसर था इसका बेटा acetaminophen, which is also known as paracetamol. Fine, paracetamol. Now understand one point. If you want to excrete out, अगर paracetamol की poisoning हो गई है, if there is paracetamol toxicity, what happens? There is liver damage. Liver damage happens. Okay, hepatotoxicity happens. And I will be telling you why it happens. Hepatotoxicity happens because paracetamol से एक molecule बनता है NAPQI. क्या बनता है? NAPQI. This NAPQI is hepatotoxic form of paracetamol. Now understand one point always, that in case of paracetamol toxicity, if you want to give an antidote, this antidote is known as N-acetylcysteine. N-acetylcysteine. Why N-acetylcysteine? Because N-acetylcysteine protects liver. ये liver को बचाता है. How? Because N-acetylcysteine increase the level of glutathione, and glutathione removes NAPQI, which is the toxic from the liver. But here comes another point, that in case of paracetamol toxicity, if you want to excrete the paracetamol in urine, if you want to excrete paracetamol in urine ताकि निकल जाए, then we do forced alkaline diuresis. तब हम क्या करते हैं? Forced alkaline diuresis करते हैं. Okay, now let's understand this concept of forced alkaline diuresis. So remember, दोनों चीजें की जाती हैं पैरासिटामोल में. It's a separate question. So let's talk about what is forced acidic diuresis, forced alkaline diuresis. Now understand, if there is a poisoning of any drug, let's say one drug is acidic drug, एक acidic drug की poisoning हो गई, या फिर एक basic drug की poisoning हो गई. In case of acidic drug poisoning, we will turn the pH of urine opposite. Acidic का opposite क्या होता है? Acidic का opposite क्या होता है? Alkaline. So acidic drug poisoning में we will turn the pH of urine opposite, forced alkaline diuresis करेंगे. Agreed? Because in alkaline media, acidic drug becomes water soluble and they get excreted out in urine. Similarly, in basic drug poisoning हमें क्या करना है? Anyone who will answer? In basic drug poisoning हमें यूरिन का pH क्या करना है? Opposite कर देना है, acidic बना देना है. Because in acidic pH, the basic drug will become water soluble and they will be removed out in urine. So how we will be doing? Forced alkaline diuresis is done by sodium bicarbonate. क्या देते हैं हम पेशेंट में? हम एसिडिक ड्रग की पॉइजनिंग में सोडियम बाइकार्बोनेट देते हैं, ये यूरिन को एल्कलाइन बना देगा. बेसिक ड्रग पॉइजनिंग में हम अमोनियम क्लोराइड देते हैं. वेरी कॉमनली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन. अमोनियम क्लोराइड यूरिन को एसिडिक बना देगा एंड दे विल बी एक्सक्रीटेड आउट. सो व्हाट आर द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द ड्रग? हमें याद रखना है AAB. ठीक है, पहला लिखोगे एस्पिरिन इज एन एसिडिक ड्रग. एस्पिरिन क्या है बेटा? एक एसिडिक ड्रग है. सिमिलरली एसिटामिनोफेन, पैरासिटामोल, पेन किलर. सिमिलरली बार्बिचुरेट्स आपको याद रखने हैं. कैन यू नेम सम बार्बिचुरेट टू मी? फिनोबार्बिटोन सुना है हमने? फिनोबार्बिटोन, इट्स अ बार्बिचुरेट. वी डू फोर्स्ड अल्कलाइन डायूरेसिस. व्हाइल इन बेसिक ड्रग के एग्जांपल, इन बेसिक ड्रग रिमेंबर दे विल एंड विद द वर्ड इन. इन सबके एंड में वर्ड क्या आएगा? इन वर्ड आएगा. सो कैन वी से एम्फिटामिन? एम्फिटामिन पॉइजनिंग में हम क्या करेंगे? Forced acidification diuresis. Similarly, you will write morphine, atropine. सब में peen word आ रहा है. So that they are removed out in urine. So if I'll ask you a question, what is the antidote of aspirin poisoning? Which student will tell me? Antidote of aspirin poisoning is sodium bicarbonate. Similarly, if somebody will ask you what is the overall, इसके अलावा और कोई ड्रग ही नहीं है हमारे पास, what is the antidote of amphetamine poisoning? We give ammonium chloride. Now let's come back to our question. Can you tell me other answers? एम्फिटामिन, मॉर्फिन, यहां पे हम क्या करते हैं? फोर्स्ड एल्कलाइन नहीं, फोर्स्ड एसिडिक डायूरेसिस करते हैं. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ड्रग इज नॉट यूज्ड एज अ ट्रांसडर्मल पैच? 2-3 years back this question was asked in FMG exam. Okay, now the answer of this question is पहला वाला, promethazine. All other drugs are used as a transdermal patch. So let's learn the list of drugs which are used as a transdermal patch. One question always comes. So first is nicotine patch. Can you tell me nicotine patch हम कहाँ देते हैं? Very simple answer. सिगरेट की आदत छुड़वाने के लिए. For smoking de-addiction. Nicotine patch is used for smoking de-addiction. Now remember, any drug which is ending with the word amine. Amine word आ रहा है दोनों में. Scopolamine. Another name is hyoscine. Diphenhydramine. Amine वाले drugs, they are given as a transdermal patch for motion sickness. जब हम कार और बस में बैठते हैं, वॉमिटिंग होती है ना, दैट इज नोन एज मोशन सिकनेस. नाइट्रेट्स पैच, दे आर गिवन फॉर लॉन्ग टर्म ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ एंजाइना, chronic angina. Clonidine patch is the only patch we have for the treatment of hypertension. Tell me, rivastigmine patch, last year FMG question. Rivastigmine patch कौन सी बीमारी में देते हैं? Rivastigmine patch is given for which disease? Yes, a person who forgets to take medicine, memory loss. Let's make a transdermal patch. Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer disease में rivastigmine patch. What about rotigotin patch? Who will tell me? Brother of Alzheimer disease, you know, is brother of Alzheimer disease is Parkinson's disease. Parkinson disease में किसका पैच देते हैं? रोटिगोटिन का पैच देते हैं. Fine. Try to remember this list. A question comes very commonly from this list. Then we have, what is the word pk value of a drug means? Anyone? What क्या आंसर मार्क किया बेटा आपने? So the answer of this question is option number B. So it is that pH at which a drug is 50% non-ionized. Non-ionized का मतलब lipid soluble form में convert हो जाता है, and 50% ionized, that means water soluble form में convert हो जाता है. That is known as pK value of a drug. Now just remember one additional point. What is the pK value of aspirin? ये पूछा जाता है. pK value of aspirin is 3.5. That means if you put aspirin in a pH of 3.5, एक मीडिया में डालोगे 3.5 के pH वाले में, aspirin will become 50% non-ionized, 50% ionized. Okay. Next question. Rate of absorption in concentration time graph is represented by. Sir, just recall your 11th and 12th. Wherever the word rate come, rate का मतलब क्या होता है? Rate का मतलब हमेशा क्या होता है? Time, है ना? Rate always means time. Wherever the word rate come, it always means time. Now tell me the answer. This is a trick to remember. Yes, the answer of this question is Tmax. Now let's talk about absorption of a drug. इमेजिन करिए आपने एक पेशेंट को ओरल ड्रग दिया. यू हैव गिवन अ ड्रग पेशेंट ओरली. स्लोली एंड स्लोली दिस ड्रग फ्रॉम जीआईटी विल कम इनटू द ब्लड, एंड स्लोली द प्लाज्मा कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ अ ड्रग विल इंक्रीज, क्योंकि ड्रग ब्लड में आ रहा है विद टाइम. ओके, agreed? So we make a graph. Let's say after 5 minutes this much amount of drug came. After 10 minutes, this much amount of drug came. After 15 minutes, this much amount of drug came. So we are just taking multiple samples from the patient. So if we join the dots, this is a curve. एक curve बन गया. This curve is known as absorption वाला curve बन गया in concentration time graph. Now understand one point. ये जो सबसे ऊपर वाला point है, इसको हम बोलते हैं Cmax. And this Cmax tells you about the maximum plasma concentration is achieved when you give a drug to your patient. एक ड्रग मैक्सिमम प्लाज्मा में कितना आता है और वो किस टाइम पे आता है? This is known as Tmax. So this Tmax will tell you about rate of absorption. कितनी स्पीड से एब्जॉर्ब होता है. It is known as rate or speed of absorption. अगर Tmax स्मॉल होगा तो ड्रग फास्ट एब्जॉर्ब होगा. Tmax बहुत बड़ा होगा तो ड्रग धीरे धीरे स्मॉल एब्जॉर्ब होगा. एंड व्हाट अबाउट दिस होल एरिया? इस सारे एरिया को हम बोलते हैं AUC. इसे हम क्या बोलते हैं बेटा? AUC. व्हाट इज AUC स्टैंड्स फॉर? AUC स्टैंड्स फॉर area under the curve, can we say area under the curve is telling us about how much total amount of drug is coming into the blood with time? So AUC, it tells you about total extent of absorption, कि total कितना drug blood में आता है with time. Now if I want to ask you a question, टी तरफ की इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं है, तो ये 3 पॉइंट आपको बेटा अच्छे से याद रखने हैं, तीनों पे सवाल आता है. नाउ वन क्वेश्चन इज, इफ वी वांट टू कैलकुलेट द बायो अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ अ ड्रग, बायो अवेलेबिलिटी वर्ड समझ आया कि टोटल अमाउंट ड्रग कितना ब्लड में आता है. सो इफ यू वांट टू कैलकुलेट बायो अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ अ ड्रग, कैन यू टेल मी अपार्ट फ्रॉम टीमैक्स, सीमैक्स या एयूसी, आपको कौन सा पैरामीटर यूज करना है? If you want to calculate the bioavailability or availability of a drug inside the body, you will use which parameter? Tmax, Cmax के AUC. Yes, you will use AUC. So bioavailability is calculated by AUC when you give a drug orally, divided by bioavailability. We calculate AUC when you give same amount of drug IV. तो अगर हमें ओरल बायो अवेलेबिलिटी कैलकुलेट करनी है, वी डिवाइडेड बाय AUC ऑफ IV. कैन यू टेल मी द रीजन फॉर इट? हम डिनोमिनेटर में IV क्यों लेते हैं? बिकॉज IV रूट ऑलवेज हैव 100% बायो अवेलेबिलिटी, सारा का सारा ड्रग आ जाता है. तो अगर हमें ओरल बायो अवेलेबिलिटी को कैलकुलेट करना है तो हमें इसे IV AUC से डिवाइड करना है. ठीक है. So which route has 100% bioavailability? Intravenous route. Another MCQ. Great. Chalo. Now next question. Clopidogrel is a prodrug and it is converted into active form by which CYP enzyme? So the answer of this question is very good. Many students have marked correctly. That is CYP2C19. How we can remember? Beta very easy. अगर हम वर्ड देखें क्लोपिडोग्रल, तो इसमें पहले दो वर्ड को देखो, दैट इज C1 वर्ड आ रहा है. किसमें C1 वर्ड आ रहा है? C1 वर्ड किसमें आता है? सिर्फ CYP2C19 में आता है. सो वी कैन राइट CYP2C19. तो बाकी के नहीं भी याद करोगे तो याद हो जाएगा. एग्रीड. सो इट इज गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इनटू एक्टिव फॉर्म बाय CYP2C19. Now, which drug gets converted into active form by CYP1A2? A2, A से एस्थमा वाला ड्रग थियोफिलीन, एस्थमा वाला ड्रग थियोफिलीन. कौन सा ड्रग CYP2C9 से मेटाबोलाइज होता है? 2C9. द आंसर इज फेनिटॉइन. एक ड्रग और याद रखेंगे, वॉरफरिन. कौन सा ड्रग CYP2D6 से मेटाबोलाइज होता है? डी से याद कर लो, दिल पे और दिमाग पे काम करने वाले ड्रग. सो कैन वी से दिल पे कौन से ड्रग काम करते हैं? बीटा ब्लॉकर. सो कैन यू नेम सम फेमस बीटा ब्लॉकर? प्रोप्रेनोलॉल. दिमाग पे काम करने वाले ड्रग एंटी डिप्रेसेंट, कोई भी एंटी डिप्रेसेंट होगा इससे काम करेगा. एंटी साइकोटिक, सुना होगा आपने ड्रग हेलोपेरिडोल, है ना. लास्टली एंटी एपिलेप्टिक्स. ये सारे के सारे किस पे काम करते हैं बेटा? दिमाग पे काम करते हैं. ठीक है. सो ऑल एंटी डिप्रेसेंट, ट्राईसाइक्लिक एंटी डिप्रेसेंट, SSRI जो अभी हम पढ़ेंगे. फाइन. इजी हो गया काम. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ दिस CYP. Now remember, this CYP enzyme metabolize a drug. It degrades a drug. Let's take an example. Let's say that there is a molecule estrogen. You know, estrogen is a part of OCP, oral contraceptive pill, and estrogen becomes degraded inside the body by which CYP? सबसे बड़ा ये मेन CYP कौन सा होता है? CYP3A4. Maximum drugs are degraded by CYP3A4. Now understand, if this female is having TB, this female who is taking contraceptive suffers from tuberculosis. और TB में हम क्या देते हैं? रिफेम्पिसिन देते हैं. Now understand, rifampicin is a CYP inducer. ये CYP की एक्टिविटी बढ़ा देता है. Can you tell me what will happen to estrogen or contraceptive? अगर CYP की एक्टिविटी बढ़ गई तो यस, रिफेम्पिसिन कॉजेस कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव फेलियर। अगर हम OCPs के साथ रिफेम्पिसिन को देंगे, rifampicin will increase the degradation of estrogen because it is a CYP enzyme inducer. Agreed? नेक्स्ट लेते हैं लास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन। लास्ट ईयर बेटा आपसे ये वाला ड्रग पूछा गया था, एस्टीमिजोल, इन FMG एग्जाम। सो देर आर 3 ड्रग्स, कैट ड्रग, सीजाप्राइड, कॉन्स्टिपेशन में देते हैं, वी विल डिस्कस। एस्टीमिजोल एंड टर्फिनाडीन, दे आर एंटीहिस्टामिनिक ड्रग गिवन फॉर एलर्जी। They are also degraded by which CYP enzyme? Same CYP 3A4, maximum को तो यही करता है। Now, if you combine them with antibiotics, और 2 एंटीबायोटिक का नाम आपने याद रखना है, एरिथ्रोमाइसिन और फंगस वाला कीटोकोनाजोल। नाउ दे आर ऑपोजिट, दे आर CYP enzyme inhibitor. They are CYP enzyme inhibitor. That means they decrease the activity of CYP3A4. Can we say these cat drugs, what will happen? These cat drugs, their toxicity will happen. इन cat drugs की क्या हो जाएगी बेटा? टॉक्सिसिटी हो जाएगी, क्योंकि ये बॉडी में डिग्रेड नहीं हो रहे, एंड दे कैन इंक्रीज QT इंटरवल ऑन हार्ट। हार्ट में क्या हो जाता है? QT इंटरवल प्रोलॉन्ग हो जाता है, जिससे एक बहुत ही फेटल एरिथमिया हो जाता है, दैट इज टॉर्सैडिस डी पॉइंटिस। सो कौन कौन से ड्रग टॉर्सैडिस डी पॉइंटिस करते हैं? रिमेंबर द न्यूमोनिक कैट, सीजाप्राइड कॉन्स्टिपेशन वाला, एस्टिमिजोल एंड टर्फिनाडीन, दे आर एंटीहिस्टामिनिक ड्रग गिवन फॉर एलर्जी। Fine. Next we have is clopidogrel. We just discussed that clopidogrel gets converted into active form, क्योंकि ये क्या है? प्रोड्रग। प्रोड्रग क्या होते हैं? इनएक्टिव ड्रग्स होते हैं। With the help of CYP2C19, it gets converted into active form, and as an active form, it is an antiplatelet drug. एंटीप्लेटलेट ड्रग बेटा किस में देते हो? इट इज गिवन इन द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ MI एंड स्ट्रोक, ताकि ब्लड वेसल ब्लॉक ना हो प्लेटलेट से, है ना? Now, remember, antiplatelet drug, they can cause stomach bleeding, peptic ulcer. That is why we have to give proton pump inhibitor like omeprazole. So, can you tell me, if you combine it with omeprazole, what will happen? Omeprazole is also CYP inhibitor, just like erythromycin. It degrades, it decreases the activity of CYP enzyme. So, if you will combine, can we say that clopidogrel will not be converted into active form and omeprazole will increase the risk of MI and stroke? अगर हम omeprazole देंगे तो MI और stroke का risk increase हो जाएगा, because the protective power of clopidogrel is lost. Now, this year NEET and INI-CT question, why I am taking it in FMG class? Because the questions gets repeated across the exam. Agreed? Now understand one point, that there is an anti-epileptic drug carbamazepine. ये anti-epileptic drug है, सीजर्स के लिए देते हैं। किससे मेटाबोलाइज होता होगा? किससे डिग्रेड होता होगा? डी वाले CYP2 D6। एरिथ्रोमाइसिन के साथ देंगे तो क्या होगा? एरिथ्रोमाइसिन इज ऑल्सो CYP enzyme inhibitor. It decrease the activity of CYP enzyme. Can you tell me what will happen? Erythromycin will lead to toxicity of carbamazepine. Carbamazepine acts on brain, and in brain it can cause cerebellar toxicity. Cerebellar toxicity आ जाती है। Can you tell me what happens in cerebellar toxicity? You know that cerebellum is the organ in brain which is required for control and coordination of movement, है ना? Like I'm speaking, my movements are controlled. So this coordination of movement is lost. So can we say there will be slurred speech? You will not able to speak properly, comprehensively. There will be ataxia. You will not able to walk properly. And there will be diplopia. The eyes will not get coordinated. So all these features will come if you combine with erythromycin. Agreed? Now let's go to the next question. I hope now you know the answer of this question already, very commonly asked. So a female patient on OCP was diagnosed to have tuberculosis and started on ATT. Anti-tubercular therapy, she was advised to use an additional barrier method of contraception. So as a doctor, you said that I'm starting TB drug. Now, apart from contraceptive, you should use another method of contraception also. What is the reason? Why you have given this advice to your patient? Yes, now you already know the answer. Very good. That rifampicin induces or increases OCP metabolism and causes failure of contraceptives. Very good. Shabash. Next पे आते हैं. What is true about first order kinetic? Remember, first order and zero order kinetic is very important. Many times question comes. So can you guess what is the correct answer of this question? So half-life remains constant, but elimination changes with plasma concentration. So this happens in first order of kinetics. But if you make it opposite, अगर हम इसे opposite कर दे, elimination को constant कर दे, half-life को change करे, it becomes zero order kinetics. Okay? So understand the answer of this question is A. A is the correct answer. Check. Now let's understand what is first order and zero order kinetic. Now we have already discussed about absorption. Now let's talk about elimination of a drug. Drug body के बाहर कैसे निकलता है? Sir, that depends upon the power of the body. You know that most of the drugs are eliminated from kidney. Most of the drugs are eliminated from kidney. From plasma. Plasma kidney में जाता है और kidney से drug urine में आता है. Agreed? Do you agree with this part? Agreed? Now, this kidney has some power to remove a drug. This power of the kidney to remove a drug is known as CL. CL stands for clearance capacity. Now, understand one word. The people or the student who come first, they are powerful people. And the student who comes zero, they don't have power. So, in first order kinetic, the clearance capacity or the power of kidney, the clearance capacity means power, it is very high. Clearance capacity क्या है? बहुत ही high है. Power to remove a drug is very high. While in zero order kinetic, the clearance capacity, the power of a body to remove a drug is very low. बहुत ही लो होती है, ताकत ही नहीं है. सो हाई के लिए हम एक वर्ड यूज करते हैं कांस्टेंट. हाई के लिए हम क्या वर्ड यूज करते हैं? कांस्टेंट. और लो के लिए हम एक वर्ड यूज करते हैं सैचुरेशन. सो फर्स्ट एमसीक्यू आई वांट टू आस्क यू, व्हिच ऑर्डर ऑफ काइनेटिक इज नोन एज सैचुरेशन काइनेटिक? सैचुरेशन मतलब खत्म हो गई, है ही नहीं, है ना, सैचुरेट हो गई. That is zero order kinetic. So let's see how the drug will be removed. So let's say I have given 100 milligram of a drug. Agreed? Let's say in 2 minutes, 50 is removed in first order kinetic. In next 2 minutes, 25 will be removed. In next 2 minutes, 12.5 will be removed. This is how the drug will be removed out of the body in first order. While in zero order kinetic, power तो है नहीं. Let's say in 2 minutes only 10 milligram of the drug is removed. 90 रह गया ब्लड में. तो next 2 minutes में भी कितना रिमूव होगा? 10. Next 2 minutes में भी कितना रिमूव होगा? 10. So that is why this is the pattern by which there is a difference between first and zero order. Now can we say that in first order kinetic, elimination is directly proportional to plasma concentration? Why? Because 50 is removed, 25 is removed, 12.5 is removed from the body. If there is more plasma concentration, more drug is removed out of the body because the power of the kidney is very good. While in zero order kinetic, every time only 10 amount of the drug is getting eliminated. So can we say here elimination is constant? It does not depend upon the plasma concentration. What about half-life? The half-life, the time required to make a drug half is constant. And make it opposite. Half-life is directly proportional to plasma concentration. So don't you think दोनों opposite हो गए? वक्त बदल गए, जज्बात बदल गए, है ना? Now remember, most of the drugs, they follow which order of kinetic? Most drugs, they follow first order kinetic. वेरी फ्यू ड्रग्स दे फॉलो विच ऑर्डर ऑफ काइनेटिक, जीरो ऑर्डर काइनेटिक। आपको सिर्फ 3 ड्रग याद करने हैं। हाउ मेनी ड्रग्स यू हैव टू रिमेंबर? ओनली 3 ड्रग्स विच शो जीरो ऑर्डर काइनेटिक्स, एटीपी। ठीक है, 3 ड्रग याद रखने, एटीपी, सारे नहीं याद करने। ए फॉर एल्कोहल, टी फॉर चाय कॉफी वाला, एस्थमा में यूज करते हैं, थियोफिलिन, एंड P stands for phenytoin. ठीक है, ATP. Now remember one additional point to go higher. Alcohol only shows pure zero order kinetic. Alcohol क्या करता है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ जीरो ऑर्डर करता है. While other drugs in high dose they show zero order, low dose they show first order kinetic. With phenytoin you will write it can also show pseudo zero order kinetic. P से phenytoin, P से pseudo वर्ड phenytoin याद कर सकते हो. So this table you have to remember. MCQ comes. Next question. Maintenance dose of a drug depends upon. What is the answer of this question? This was asked this year in FMG exam. So the answer of this question is B. Clearance into plasma concentration. The answer of this question is B. Now remember 3 formulas you have to remember. The first formula you have to remember is loading dose, and you will write the formula of IV loading dose is volume of distribution into target plasma concentration which you want to achieve in your patient. ठीक है? Now maintenance dose, when you give a drug IV, that depends upon clearance capacity into target plasma concentration. Into target plasma concentration. First point, how we can remember it? Very easy. You can see in volume of distribution D word is coming. In loading D word is coming. While in maintenance D word is not coming. C word is coming. And in clearance C word is coming. Okay. So it is easy to remember. But remember one point, that this is the loading and maintenance dose when we are giving a drug IV. If you want to give a drug by other routes, let's say हमें oral drug से देना है, oral route से देना है. If you want to calculate oral by other route, you have to divide the whole formula with BA. किससे divide करना है बेटा? BA से. What is BA stands for? Anyone? What is BA stands for? What is BA stands for? Bioavailability of a drug. Now, I want to ask you one question which was recently asked. Can you tell me 3 factors on which loading dose of a drug depends? Can you tell me 3 factors on which loading dose depend? Volume of distribution, target plasma concentration, and bioavailability. Similarly, 3 factors on which maintenance dose depends: clearance capacity, plasma concentration, and bioavailability. Fine, 3 factors. Now, last formula is half-life. Symbol of half-life is T half. हमने पढ़ा 11th 12th में भी. इन दोनों को डिवाइड कर दो. It is 0.693 VD, volume of distribution, divided by clearance capacity is the half-life. Now understand, we know how to calculate VD, we know how to calculate clearance. इसीलिए हम एक और फॉर्मूला बनाते हैं, 0.693 upon K. 0.693 upon K. अब बात आती है, what is this K? K will be equal to clearance upon VD because K is in denominator, and this K, it is also known as elimination rate constant. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Elimination rate constant. कि कितने टाइम में ड्रग बॉडी के बाहर निकलेगा. Elimination rate constant बोलते हैं इसे. ठीक है, गुड. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Incorrect match regarding the drug and antidote combination. ड्रग और उनकी एंटीडोट में इनकरेक्ट कौन सा है, गलत कौन सा है? एसिटामिनोफेन N-एसिटाइलसिस्टीन अभी हमने पढ़ा, एब्सोल्युटली ट्रू. डाइजॉक्सिन डिजीफैब एब्सोल्युटली ट्रू. डाइजीपाम Flumazenil, absolutely true. So the answer out here is C. My question is, amphetamine is a basic drug. हमें यहां पे यूरिन को एसिडिफाई करना है कि एल्कलाइन करना है? नो, वी रैदर गिव अमोनियम क्लोराइड. यहां तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. The answer here is ammonium chloride. So let's write all the drugs and antidote at one place. One question always comes from this list. So let's talk about digoxin. You know digoxin given in heart failure, heart की contraction increase करता है by inhibiting sodium potassium ATPase. पढ़ा है ना हमने? Digoxin inhibits sodium potassium ATPase given in heart failure. So what is the antidote of digoxin poisoning? Digibind. इस ड्रग का और भी एक और भी नाम है. इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज डिजीफैब. रिमेंबर, इट्स एन एंटीबॉडी अगेंस्ट डाइजॉक्सिन. इट्स एन एंटीबॉडी अगेंस्ट डाइजॉक्सिन. एंड वी कैन इजीली रिमेंबर बोथ आर स्टार्टिंग विद आवर DIDI. DIDI वर्ड से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. इजी. देन वी हैव डाइजीपाम, लोराजीपाम. व्हाट दीज ड्रग्स आर? दीज ड्रग्स आर बेंजोडाइजेपिन, सेडेटिव ड्रग है ना, नींद आ जाती है. The antidote of diazepam, lorazepam is flumazenil. क्या है एंटीडोट? फ्लूमाजेनिल. ZE वर्ड आ रहा है सब में, है ना? ZE. मिथेनॉल एंड इथाइलिन ग्लाइकोल पॉइजनिंग. रिमेंबर, दे आर पॉइजनस एल्कोहल. दे आर पॉइजनस एल्कोहल. इससे ब्लाइंडनेस हो जाती है, ब्रेन डैमेज, न्यूरोटॉक्सिसिटी हो जाती है ना? Here the antidote is fomepizole. क्या है एंटीडोट? Fomepizole. Don't get confused between fomepizole and flumazenil. Remember, all alcohol they will end with the word all. Methanol, glycol, fomepizole, all word से ही end करेगा ये भी. ठीक है? Don't get confused between flumazenil and fomepizole. All word आएगा. Now what is this lignocaine? Bupivacaine. Any drug which ends with the word cane is a local anesthetic drug, and the antidote of local anesthetic drug is 20% intralipid emulsion. नाम याद रखना है, 20% intralipid emulsion. Good. Aspirin, what was the answer? Aspirin antidote is sodium bicarbonate. Antidote of paracetamol, N-acetylcysteine. Can you recall and tell me how N-acetylcysteine was acting? N-acetylcysteine increased level of glutathione. अभी पढ़ा, which removes NAPQI. Remember this part. Morphine and fentanyl. What these drugs are? They are opioid. Opioid के antidote, very commonly asked question. Don't forget naloxone. Naloxone is the antidote of opioid poisoning. Very good. Next, amphetamine. अभी पढ़ा हमने बेटा. Amphetamine poisoning, ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride. Now, tricyclic antidepressants like imipramine, their antidote is same, sodium bicarbonate. पूछा जाता है. ठीक है? इमिप्रमिन के साथ एक ड्रग और याद रखना है आपने, एमिट्रिप्टिलीन. सुना है आपने एमिट्रिप्टिलीन? माइग्रेन वाइग्रेन में देते हैं. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट ऑर्गेनोफॉस्फेट एंड कार्बामेट? आई विल बी टेलिंग यू इन ग्रेट डिटेल. फॉर अ मोमेंट ट्राई टू रिमेंबर एट्रोपिन. Try to remember, atropine is the antidote in organophosphate and carbamate. But in cases of OP poisoning only, we add oxime like pralidoxime. ये सिर्फ हम pralidoxime किस में देते हैं बेटा? सिर्फ OP में देते हैं, कार्बामेट में नहीं देते. pralidoxime. Fine. Now, opposite, atropine poisoning, which is also known as belladonna and datura poisoning. Don't worry, I will be teaching you in great detail. We use one carbamate. That carbamate is physostigmine. कौन सा ड्रग देते हैं? Physostigmine. What is physostigmine? It is a carbamate. ठीक है? I'll tell you the reason for it later on. Now, CCB, you all know, stands for calcium channel blocker like verapamil. Logical antidote should be calcium दे दो. Calcium gluconate. तो कैल्शियम चैनल ब्लॉकर की टॉक्सिसिटी कैल्शियम ग्लूकोनेट, बीटा ब्लॉकर टॉक्सिसिटी, बीटा थोड़ी ना कोई चीज है कि हम दे सकते हैं। इन बीटा ब्लॉकर टॉक्सिसिटी रिमेंबर द पेशेंट सफर्स फ्रॉम ब्रेडिकार्डिया, patient suffers from bradycardia, and we give antidote, one hormone known as glucagon hormone. Glucagon causes tachycardia, glucagon causes tachycardia. बीटा ब्लॉकर से ब्रेडिकार्डिया होता है, ग्लूकागॉन से टेकिकार्डिया होता है, ठीक है। ऑल द एंटीडोट्स आर फिनिश, आई होप यू विल नेवर फॉरगेट इट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, मैच द फॉलोइंग टाइप्स ऑफ ligand or hormones to their receptors. So first, this is very, very important. Insulin. It acts on which receptor? You will write tyrosine kinase receptor. Agreed? Insulin acts on tyrosine kinase receptor. Now, apart from insulin, remember one more molecule which acts on tyrosine kinase receptor, that is IGF. Can you tell me what is IGF? IGF stands for insulin-like growth factor. Fine. Then we have T3 and T4 hormone, thyroid hormone. So thyroid hormone receptors are located inside the nucleus. Inside the nucleus. So it is intranuclear receptor. Very, very commonly asked question. They are present on DNA. And then we have calcitriol. You know, calcitriol is vitamin D3, active form of vitamin. C for calcitriol, C for cytoplasmic receptor. Cytoplasmic receptor. Now, epinephrine, norepinephrine, they act on metabotropic receptor. Metabotropic receptor is also known as GPCR. What is GPCR? Any student who can tell me? GPCR stands for G protein coupled receptors. G protein coupled receptors. Fine. So the answer I think will be A. A will be the correct answer. Fine. Check. Next question. Which of the following molecule among 1, 2, 3, 4 is an antagonist? Okay. Now, if we see this graph first, you can see we are giving the dose of a drug, log dose, and we are checking a response. So this graph is known as DRC, dose response curve. Now understand, when we are not giving any drug, don't you think there is some basal activity? Basal activity means heart hai. Heart 70 beats per minute pe beat kar raha hai. If I give a drug and the response becomes 100%, maximum response, then we call it as full agonist. Full agonist means 100% या maximum response. अगर full नहीं हुआ, let's say 50% response के around हुआ, we call it as low response. We call it as very logical name, partial agonist. And if we give a molecule which will produce opposite response or negative response, heart rate कम हो गया, very logical name, it will be known as inverse agonist. Now understand one point, that agonists are those molecules which will produce some level of response. Full response भी हो सकता है agonist से, partial agonist भी हो सकता है, और inverse agonist भी हो सकता है जो opposite response produce करे. Now what is antagonist? Antagonist is any molecule which will go and bind to the receptor, but it will produce no change in response. कोई भी change नहीं आएगा. अगर कोई भी change नहीं आता, let's say these molecules are neutral, we call them as antagonist. तो अगर मैं कहूं हार्ट बीट 70 बीट्स पर मिनट है, एंटागनिस्ट देंगे, द हार्ट बीट विल रिमेन ओनली 70 का 70. इनवर्स एगोनिस्ट से 30 पे चला जाएगा, फुल एगोनिस्ट से 200 पे चला जाएगा, है ना. सो द आंसर आउट हियर इज 3. वेरी गुड. नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, कैलकुलेट द थेराप्यूटिक इंडेक्स ऑफ अ ड्रग whose dose response curve is given. Let's say there is a drug which produce hypnosis. Hypnosis is therapeutic or beneficial effect जो हम चाहते हैं. But if we increase the dose of a drug, the person is dying. The person is dying. Don't you think this is toxic effect या फिर lethal effect which we don't want in our patient? And see this point. Can we say this dose is ED50, effective dose in 50% of people, and this dose will be TD50 या फिर LD50? What is TD50? Toxic dose or lethal dose in 50% of people. Now, what is therapeutic index? Therapeutic index is TD50 upon ED50 or LD50 upon ED50. So can you tell me another separate question? What is LD50 or TD50? Last year FMG question, the dose that produce toxic or lethal effect. The dose that produce toxic or lethal effect in 50% of people is LD50 or TD50. ED50 will be the dose that will produce beneficial effect, जो हम चाहते हैं, in 50% of people. This MCQ comes. ठीक है? Now, can you calculate what is LD50 out here? Can you calculate what is LD50? Let's see what is LD50 out here. This is LD50 400. This is ED50 100. So what is your therapeutic index? Therapeutic index will be 400 divided by 100. So the answer is 4. Now one last point. This therapeutic index, which is the gap between ED50 and TD50, therapeutic index, it tells us about the safety margin of a drug. ये हमें किसके बारे में बताता है? ये हमें सेफ्टी मार्जिन के बारे में बताता है, that how much gap is there between ED50 and TD50. So what is the importance of therapeutic index? It tells us about safety margin of a drug. I hope you have understood. You will never forget it. Next question. There is a drug paracetamol 500 milligram. आप केमिस्ट के पास लेने गए. When you tested this drug, it only contained 200 milligram. In which class of counterfeit or cheating drug it is? The answer of this question is misbranded. Misbranded. So let me tell you what is counterfeit drug. You will understand it. Counterfeit drugs are those drugs which are made with an intention to cheat. नकली दवाई है ना, और harmful दवाई. Now there are three types of counterfeit drug. The first is spurious. पहले को क्या बोलते हैं? Spurious. Spurious को हम also बोलते हैं, in हिंदी we call it as नकली दवाई. ऐसे लिखे, हिंदी में लिखते हैं याद करने के लिए, नकली दवाई. Now what does it mean? नकली means you went to a chemist, asked for 500 milligram of paracetamol. आपने कहा मुझे paracetamol दे दो. But when you tested this drug, it contains no paracetamol. इसमें paracetamol है ही नहीं. This is known as spurious या नकली. Another one is misbranded. Misbranded का दूसरा नाम होता है substandard. In Hindi, can we call it as घटिया और पुअर क्वालिटी की दवाई? घटिया क्वालिटी की दवाई या पुअर क्वालिटी की दवाई. Now it means you went to a chemist, you asked for paracetamol 500 milligram, but when you tested, इसमें 500 मिलीग्राम नहीं निकला, इसमें कम निकला. This is known as misbranded. So manufacturers, they do to increase their profit margin. Lastly, we have is adulterated. तीन ही होते हैं. Adulterated means मिलावट. That means you have added one harmful chemical. Okay, let me ask you a simple tragedy. You know that some 1 or 2 months back, there were some cough syrups. Remember some cough syrups? And some children died in India because that cough syrup contain a toxic ethylene glycol. अभी हमने पढ़ा ethylene glycol. And children, when they consumed this cough syrup, they died. That is an example of adulterated. So it is, that is adulterated. मिलावट करना, harmful substance डालना is मिलावट, adulterated. Now let's talk about two more points because they are important for your exam. We have orphan drug. No, it is not because cheaper, because the why adulterated happens, but I'll tell you just for your knowledge. बिकॉज समटाइम्स वी कांट मेंटेन स्ट्रिक्ट क्वालिटी कंट्रोल। आप सब जानते हो इंडिया में कई बार क्वालिटी कंट्रोल पे कोई ध्यान नहीं देता। So when we are making this cough syrup, what happens in between, this harmful alcohol suddenly appears, ये अपने आप बन जाती है। And if we will not filter it out, the people will die। तो लोगों ने क्या किया, इसे फिल्टर नहीं किया था। इसे रिमूव करना बहुत जरूरी है, ये तो बनता है, प्रोसेस में तो बनता ही है। Then we have orphan drugs। Orphan drugs are drugs for rare disease। Drugs for rare disease। Now what do you mean by rare disease? Rare disease का मतलब prevalence of this disease in India is less than 1 per 5 lakh population। मतलब ये डिजीज 5 लाख लोगों में से अगर हम देखें तो एक लोग में भी कम होता है। प्रेवलेंस इज लेस देन 1 per 5 lakh population। So any example of such a rare disease or rare बीमारी? One question which was asked last year in FMG exam, deferrioxamine। You know, deferrioxamine is a chelator। Fe वर्ड आ रहा है तो बताओ कहां देते हैं इसे हम देते हैं आयरन पॉइजनिंग में। Fe मींस आयरन पॉइजनिंग। आयरन का सिंबल Fe होता है, ठीक है, गुड, ओके। देन वी हैव एसेंशियल ड्रग। एसेंशियल ड्रग्स आर फॉर हाईली प्रेवलेंट डिजीज। ऑपोजिट लिख दो, they are given for highly prevalent disease। Can you name some highly prevalent disease? Hypertension, diabetes, anemia, etc। okay, anemia है ना। Now essential drugs, remember, they should be, because many people are consuming, they should be available all the time। they should be available all the time in our country। they should be cheap, सस्ते होने चाहिए, मतलब अफोर्डेबल होने चाहिए। And they should be not to be combined, they should not be combined with other drugs, because if you combine with this other drug which is known as FDC, fixed dose combination, it will unnecessarily increase the price of a drug। that is why we should not avoid combining essential drugs with other drug। that means इनको एज अ सिंगल टैबलेट ही देना है हमें, दूसरे ड्रग के साथ कंबाइन नहीं करना। फाइन। Then we have a 35-year-old chronic hypertensive woman visits to OPD for preconception counseling। That means she wants to become pregnant। Which of the following antihypertensive drugs she should stop taking or discontinue? So yes, the answer out here is telmisartan। So let's see what drugs which are used in pregnancy. Again, a very important list. One question always comes from this list। So let's talk about certain diseases. Which drug will be safest or drug of choice, and which drugs are contraindicated? So in epilepsy or seizures in pregnancy, the safest drug will be L। कौन से ड्रग है L वाले? The first will be levetiracetam। If levetiracetam is not given in the option, then you should go with lamotrigine। Which is the most teratogenic, most dangerous anti-epileptic drug in pregnancy? The answer is valproate। Valproate should not be started in a pregnant female। Bipolar disorder, which is also known as mania depressive psychosis, the safest anti-epileptic drug is antipsychotics। So you must have heard about the drug clozapine, क्वेटियापीन, ओलेंजापीन, एरिपिप्राजोल, ये सारे के सारे ड्रग्स क्या होते हैं, एक्सेट्रा, एंटीसाइकोटिक। नाउ व्हिच ड्रग इज कॉन्ट्राइंडिकेटेड? अगेन द आंसर इज वेलप्रोइट। सो वेलप्रोइट इज आल्सो गिवन इन बाइपोलर डिसऑर्डर और मेनिया डिप्रेसिव साइकोसिस। रिमेंबर, वेलप्रोइट इज वेरी मच टेरेटोजेनिक देन लिथियम। अगर दोनों ऑप्शन में आ गया तो किसके साथ जाओगे? Which drug should never be started in bipolar disorder? The answer is always and always valproate। Hypertension in pregnancy, the safest drugs are LHMC, Lady Harding Medical College। L for Lady Harding Medical College। Yes, valproate causes NTD, which I am going to tell you shortly। अभी थोड़ी देर में बताता हूँ NTD। So Lady Harding Medical College, LHMC, hypertension, you can remember labetalol। and this labetalol, it is considered to be the overall drug of choice for pregnancy induced hypertension. PIH का drug of choice labetalol. अगर labetalol से BP कंट्रोल नहीं होता, then we add other drugs like hydralazine. We can give methyl dopa, which was given in option. We can give a calcium channel blocker, nifedipine. Now, which drug should not be started? ACE inhibitor and ARB drugs, they are never started in pregnancy. So ACE inhibitor, remember, they will end with the word pril. कोई भी drug जो pril word से start करता है, captopril, lisinopril, should not be started in pregnancy. ARB, angiotensin receptor blocker, never started. Telmisartan, losartan, olmesartan नहीं start करना. They can cause renal agenesis, I am going to tell you. What about hyperthyroidism in pregnancy? Remember, that depends upon trimester. First trimester, the drug of choice is PTU, propyl thiouracil, to control hyperthyroidism in pregnancy. Second and third trimester, you give carbimazole या फिर methimazole. या तो carbimazole दे दो या methimazole. Last year MCQ of FMG, which anti-thyroid drug should be given in second trimester of pregnancy? PTU or carbimazole? The answer is carbimazole. Remember, carbimazole is never given in first trimester. It causes epilepsia cutis, I am going to tell you. PTU is never given in second and third trimester. It is hepatotoxic. So choice alag alag hai. Anticoagulant drug of choice is always and always heparin. Remember, heparin is safe in all trimesters. In all trimesters, we can give heparin as a drug of choice. But what about warfarin? Warfarin की बात करें. Remember, warfarin, it is contraindicated in first trimester. It is contraindicated in first trimester. That means less than 12 weeks of pregnancy, we should not give warfarin. Now, another question. One question which was asked in FMG, warfarin in pregnancy can be started after how many weeks? What is the answer of this question? Warfarin को आप कितने weeks के बाद start कर सकते हो? Anyone? It can be started after 12 weeks. Now remember, warfarin, let's say you have started after 12 weeks. After that, warfarin should be stopped at 37 weeks. 37 weeks पे आपने क्या करना है? warfarin को stop करना है, because after 37 weeks कभी भी डिलीवरी हो सकती है, and after 37 weeks you will start heparin again. उसके बाद क्या स्टार्ट करोगे? हेपारिन. ठीक है. सो हाँ, ठीक है. some book says 36, some book says 37. go with 37. now remember, during postpartum period, child deliver हो गया. during postpartum period, again the drug of choice is heparin. Heparin is the drug of choice in postpartum. Now, which of the following is a Schedule X drug? Which student will tell me the answer? बताओ आंसर इसका, फटाफट बताओ. So the answer of this question is D, ketamine. Now remember this, thalidomide, enalapril, they are valproate, they are teratogenic drug. अगर प्रेगनेंसी में देंगे तो टेरेटोजेनिक ड्रग है. टेरेटोजेनिक ड्रग्स को हम बोलते हैं कैटेगरी एक्स ड्रग. क्या बोलते हैं? कैटेगरी एक्स ड्रग. कीटामीन इज एन एडिक्टिव ड्रग, इसका एडिक्शन होता है. That is why we call it as narcotic psychotropic drug. इनको हम बोलते हैं Schedule X drug. So don't get confused between category X and Schedule X. दोनों अलग अलग चीजें होती हैं. So let's talk about Schedule and category X drug. Now what is Schedule G drug? G means these drugs are given under मेडिकल सुपरविजन. मतलब डॉक्टर के सामने मेडिकल सुपरविजन में ही यह ड्रग देना है. कैन वी राइट अ ब्यूटीफुल एग्जांपल? वैक्सीन्स. क्या पेशेंट वैक्सीन खुद घर पे ले सकता है? Can a patient take vaccines at home? No, it is always given under medical supervision. Good. Schedule H. Schedule H drugs are known as prescription drugs. And they will carry a symbol RJ. ठीक है, इनमें एक सिंबल होता है RJ जो आप अपने ओपीडी कार्ड में ही बनाते हो. क्लासिकल एग्जांपल इज इंसुलिन. ठीक है, एंटीबायोटिक्स ये अपने आप केमिस्ट पे जाके नहीं ले सकते. शेड्यूल एक्स ड्रग दे आर नार्कोटिक या फिर साइकोट्रोपिक ड्रग. एग्रीड. दैट मीन्स इन ड्रग का एडिक्शन या फिर अब्यूज मिसयूज हो सकता है. दे विल कैरी अ सिंबल NRJ. They will carry a symbol NRJ. Latin word है. Now the point example is ketamine. Ketamine is an addictive drug. Any other addictive drug you know? Any other addictive drug you know? Morphine is an addictive drug है ना? Morphine, fentanyl, opioids are also addictive drug. Ketamine. Fine. ये दो ड्रग फिलहाल आपने याद रखने हैं, पूछे जाते हैं. रेस्ट यू कैन इजीली अप्लाई योर माइंड. अगर कोई नया आ गया विच इज एन एडिक्टिव ड्रग यू ऑलरेडी नो. Category X drugs are teratogenic drug. So let's talk about certain teratogenic drug list which is asked from you. ठीक है? So अभी तक OPD card नहीं बनाया. Okay. Just see on Google how in OPD card we write a symbol as a doctor RJ. Take do. We are giving you this drug. So let's talk about teratogenic drug and what fetal malformation they will produce when you will give in pregnancy. So with thalidomide, remember there is phocomelia. That means phocomelia means short limb. Phoco means short, melos means or melia means limb. So just see this child with very short limbs. You can see very short limbs are there. This is phocomelia. Lithium, it causes Epstein anomaly when used in pregnancy. Very commonly asked question beta. Epstein anomaly कौन सा ड्रग करता है? Lithium. Now what is Epstein anomaly? This is cardiac defect. Heart में defect हो जाता है fetus के. So let's see this Epstein anomaly. What happens? Beta in Epstein anomaly there is a floppy valve. कौन सी valve में defect होता है? Can you tell me in right part of the heart which valve is there? There is a tricuspid valve defect. Okay, जिसकी वजह से atria and ventricle become single chamber, and because they become a single chamber, right atria becomes big, which leads to atrial septal defect, enlarged right atria. Now next we have is ACE inhibitor, pril wale drug, never to be started in pregnancy. Sartan wale drug, they produce renal agenesis. Renal agenesis. Then we have carbi and methimazole. They are contraindicated in first trimester hyperthyroidism because they can cause aplasia cutis. Skin will not be produced. See this child. You can see the skin of the child on head is not produced. This is aplasia cutis produced by aplasia cutis. A and C word is coming. Carbimazole, C and A word is coming. You can easily remember. Now valproate and methotrexate, remember they produce folic acid deficiency. They are anti-folate drug. They are anti-folate drug. Can you tell me if there is deficiency of folic acid, what will happen? If there is deficiency of folic acid, valproate and methotrexate can cause neural tube defects. It can lead to NTD, neural tube defect like spina bifida. So next question, what is the mechanism of action of botulinum toxin? What is the answer of this question? Botulinum toxin? Yes. The answer is botulinum toxin inhibits the release of acetylcholine. It inhibits the release of acetylcholine. So let's talk about two toxins which are produced from a bacteria. You have heard about this bacteria? Clostridium bacteria, Clostridium botulini, Clostridium tetani. Now these bacteria, they produce toxins. Clostridium botulinum will produce botulinum toxin, and botulinum toxin from a neuron, it inhibits the release of acetylcholine. Now remember, normally acetylcholine causes muscle contraction. If acetylcholine is not released, what will be the effect? The muscles will become relaxed or paralyzed. With botulinum toxin, it leads to muscle paralysis. While tetanus toxin, it inhibits the release of inhibitory neurotransmitter GABA and glycine. Now, GABA and glycine, beta, remember, they normally produce muscle relaxation. So, if you give tetanus toxin, what will happen? There is muscle spasm और मसल रिजिडिटी, मसल और ज्यादा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएंगी. डोंट यू थिंक दीज टू टॉक्सिन्स आर ऑपोजिट टू ईच अदर? सो दैट इज व्हाई टेटनस टॉक्सिन इज समटाइम्स नोन एज टेटनोस्पाज्मिन भी बोलते हैं, क्योंकि टेटनस से स्पाज्म होता है. अमंग देम रिमेंबर ओनली बोtulinum टॉक्सिन इज यूज्ड. कौन सा टॉक्सिन यूज होता है? कौन सा टॉक्सिन यूज होता है? बोtulinum. टेटनस टॉक्सिन इज नोवेयर यूज्ड. टेटनस टॉक्सिन हम यूज नहीं करते. So it is given for the treatment of muscle spasm. अगर muscle spasm है तो like achalasia cardia, we give this. Hyperhidrosis, it reduces sweating. So that is why it is given to reduce sweating in cases of hyperhidrosis. Hyper means excessive, hydrosis, sweating. Lastly, with age there are muscle contraction. Muscle contraction अगर age के साथ बढ़ती है तो पेशेंट को क्या हो जाता है? रिंकल्स हो जाते हैं. दैट इज वाई एवरीवन हु गेट्स फर्स्ट रैंक इन पीजी वांट्स टू ऑप्ट फॉर डर्मेटोलॉजी. कैन यू टेल मी सारे डर्मा क्यों चूज करते हैं? क्योंकि डर्मा में जब से बोटॉक्स आया है, वेरी एक्सपेंसिव ड्रग, एंड देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु वांट टू लुक ब्यूटीफुल एंड यंग अगेन. They want to remove the wrinkles or muscle contraction. People take botox injection. किसके इंजेक्शन लेते हैं? बोटॉक्स के इंजेक्शन लेते हैं. क्यों लेते हैं? ताकि मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन गायब हो जाए. ओके, मसल कॉन्ट्रैक्शन सब पैसे का खेल है. बिल्कुल सही बात. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, विच ड्रग इज नॉट यूज्ड फॉर क्विटिंग स्मोकिंग? व्हाट इज द आंसर? नाउ रिमेंबर, इन स्मोकिंग देयर इज निकोटीन. निकोटीन होता है ना, तो इसमें तो निकोटीन है, हम यूज करेंगे वेरी निकलीन. निकोटीन वर्ड आ रहा है, ये तो यूज करेंगे. नाउ टू वर्ड्स आर कंफ्यूजिंग. वन इज ब्यूस्पायरोन, वन इज ब्यूप्रोपियोन. रिमेंबर, ब्यूप्रोपियोन देते हैं इन क्विटिंग स्मोकिंग. ब्यूस्पायरोन इज नॉट यूज्ड. व्हाट इज ब्यूस्पायरोन? ब्यूस्पायरोन तो एंटी एंजाइटी ड्रग होता है. इट इज नॉट गिवन फॉर क्विटिंग स्मोकिंग. Okay, so what are the drugs we have which are used for smoking de-addiction? So you can remember a mnemonic: nicotine, very bad. So the first is nicotine itself. लोहा लोहे को काटता है. Give small amount of nicotine through transdermal patch. Person will not have craving for smoking. Apart from transdermal route, nicotine is also given. Nicotine is also given as a spray, nasal spray or oral spray. It is also given as a chewing gums. It is also given as a toffees which can be kept in mouth, lozenges. But nicotine is never given orally. इसे orally नहीं देते. बहुत मजा आता है. आदमी कहता है कि यार ये तो सिगरेट से भी अच्छा है. Then we have varenicline. Varenicline, nick word आ रहा है again because it acts on nicotinic receptor. किस पे काम करता है? It's a partial agonist at nicotinic receptors in our brain. तो आदमी को craving नहीं होती. Lastly we have is antidepressant drug bupropion. An antidepressant drug bupropion, it is NDRI, norepinephrine dopamine reuptake inhibitor. ठीक है, ठीक है. Okay, now ट्रांसबक्कल में बेटा पॉइंट ये नहीं है कि ट्रांसबक्कल में व्हेन यू टेक लॉजेंजेस च्युइंगम्स व्हाट हैपेंस देयर इज अ रिटन हाउ टू टेक इट you don't have to bite this chewing gum again and again. Keep this chewing gum in my mouth, take one bite, and after 30 minutes take one more bite, because if you will keep on chewing after a regular interval, small amount of nicotine will be released. Small amount will prevent craving. एक बार में नहीं खा जाना सारा, इनको बहुत धीरे धीरे करके खाना होता है. I hope it's understood, Akil. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the most effective drug? Can we say the most or very effective drug among these three is varenicline? सबसे effective drug कौन सा होता है? Varenicline is the most or very effective drug for smoking cessation. Fine. Then, which drug is used in diagnosis of myasthenia gravis? Anyone? Drug which is used in diagnosis of myasthenia gravis is idrophonium, and this test is known as tensilon test. Understood this part? Second point, what about curare? Curare wale drugs, they are absolutely contraindicated in myasthenia gravis, because I will be telling you, just like myasthenia gravis, they will block nicotinic receptors. Any other drug which is contraindicated in myasthenia gravis? One antibiotic, aminoglycosides. Can you name certain aminoglycoside like streptomycin, gentamicin? इन ड्रग्स को भी हम myasthenia gravis में नहीं देते, क्योंकि इनसे myasthenia gravis एग्रावेट हो जाता है. ठीक. Now let's talk about myasthenia gravis. What happens? Myasthenia gravis, you know, is an autoimmune disease. In autoimmune disease, antibodies बनती है, and these antibodies they block NM receptor. कौन से receptor? NM. NM stands for nicotinic muscle receptor. Nicotinic muscle receptors. क्योंकि ये muscle क्या हो जाती है? ब्लॉक हो जाती है. The person suffers from muscle weakness or muscle paralysis. So myos means muscle, asthenia means weakness. Now, what is the treatment? First is symptomatic treatment. Symptomatic treatment means improve muscle weakness. Patient को जो muscle weakness हो रही है उसको improve करो, and the drug of choice is neostigmine. If neostigmine is not given in the option, you can write pyridostigmine. Even pyridostigmine is longer acting, and these drugs are given together with atropine. Neostigmine with atropine combination or pyridostigmine with atropine combination. Why? Because they will increase acetylcholine level, and acetylcholine will stimulate NM receptor, muscles will contract again. Definitive treatment is remove antibody. Remove antibodies. And for that we give corticosteroids like prednisolone with azathioprine. Prednisolone हम शुरू में देते हैं, मेंटेन हम azathioprine पे करते हैं. If it is still not controlled, then we can do thymectomy. कौन सा ग्लैंड रिमूव कर सकते हो? Thymectomy. Why? Because in myasthenia gravis, this thymus gland, it is producing antibodies. ये जो thymus gland है ये antibody बना रहा है, and thymus gland becomes so large in myasthenia gravis that patient suffers from thymoma. कौन सा ट्यूमर होता है myasthenia gravis में? Thymoma. ठीक है. Then we have a patient of crisis comes. Crisis means emergency. Person is having respiratory paralysis, respiratory muscles involve हो गई, आदमी तो मर जाएगा. We have to remove these antibodies very fast, so we can remove the plasma of the patient and remove the antibodies from their plasmapheresis, or you can give intravenous immunoglobulin, IVIG. IVIG is a better. In all autoimmune disease, myasthenia gravis, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Kawasaki disease. If there is some emergency, you have to remove antibodies very fast by giving IVIG or plasmapheresis. Now, which drug is given for diagnosis? For diagnosis, we give idrophonium. And this idrophonium, it is also known as tensilon. This test is known as tensilon test. What happens if you will give idrophonium? It will increase acetylcholine level and it will improve muscle weakness. And the most common muscle involved is ice muscles in myasthenia. So ptosis will improve. So what will happen if you give idrophonium? This lady is not interested in you because you have not cleared the exam yet. She is suffering from ptosis. Now just imagine you have given idrophonium. You have given idrophonium. So the eyes will open. And this test is known as beta, this test is known as tensilon test. Eyes open होना myasthenia gravis में tensilon test या idrophonium test. Fine. Now this is the drug which is used. But remember, apart from drugs, there are other tests for myasthenia gravis diagnosis as well, like single fiber electromyography, anti-musk antibody. But हम फार्मा में क्या पढ़ेंगे? कौन सा ड्रग यूज होता है माइस्थीनिया ग्रेविस को डायग्नोस करने के लिए? इड्रोफोनियम. ओके. देन a patient with a history of cobra bite poisoning presented in emergency with symptoms of fatigue and irritability. 10 vials of antivenom are already given, administered IV, but the patient is still having difficulty in swallowing, ptosis, muscle weakness. What should be the next line? Same treatment like myasthenia gravis. Cobra and crate bite poisoning have same treatment like myasthenia gravis. What is the answer? What is the answer? Same treatment like myasthenia? Yes. That is atropine with neostigmine. Same treatment like myasthenia gravis to improve muscle weakness, because venom of cobra also blocks which receptor beta? Can you tell me? It also blocks NM receptor, जिसकी वजह से just like myasthenia gravis there is muscle weakness. Okay. Then we have, which drug is not used in Alzheimer's disease? Which drug is not used? What is the answer? The answer out here is neostigmine. Remember, neostigmine cannot cross blood-brain barrier. Fine. So other drugs are given in Alzheimer's disease. So let me tell you what are the drugs we have for Alzheimer's disease or dementia in which the patient has memory loss. So the first class of drug we have is anti-cholinesterase. Remember, cholinesterase enzyme degrades acetylcholine. So anti-cholinesterase, they will inhibit degradation of acetylcholine. So these drugs, they increase acetylcholine level in brain, and acetylcholine improves memory. Understood? So the drugs are T-Duggar. The first drug is tacrine. It was the first drug for Alzheimer's disease, but now it is banned. कौन सा drug ban हो गया? Tacrine, hepatotoxic. So कितने drugs देते हैं? We can give 3 drugs. Now, Duggar, donepezil, galantamine, rivastigmine. They are used. Among them, which drug is available as a transdermal patch also? That is rivastigmine. Other drugs are oral. Now, अगर अब भी memory improve नहीं होती, still the patient is having no improvement, then we add a drug memantine. Memantine लिखेंगे, it is an NMDA antagonist. NMDA is a receptor of glutamate. NMDA को block करोगे, memory increase हो जाती है. How we can remember? See the name, MEM word is coming, which stands for memory. ये भी क्या करेगा? मेमोरी को इंक्रीज करेगा. ए फॉर एल्जाइमर्स डिजीज में इंप्रूव करेगा. एल्जाइमर्स डिजीज में इंप्रूव करेगा. नाउ जस्ट रिमेंबर एक दो नए ड्रग्स फॉर एल्जाइमर डिजीज विच हैव बीन अप्रूव्ड. लिखना आडुकैनुमैब. ये याद रखना है आपने, एंड लिकानीमैब. Aducanumab. Aducanumab, how we can remember? AD. AD word is coming means Alzheimer disease, and MAB word is coming. They are monoclonal antibody, and these antibodies, they block beta 1 amyloid protein. They block beta 1 amyloid protein in brain. Fine. Next question, a patient presented to emergency department with diarrhea, sweating, excessive lacrimation. So all the body secretions are increased. His pulse rate is 55, so the patient is having bradycardia. Plasma cholinesterase level is low. So can we say cholinesterase level is low? So there is a poisoning of anticholinesterase. So there is an anticholinesterase poisoning. Which drugs are anticholinesterase? There are two drugs which are anticholinesterase. One is organophosphate and the second drug is carbamates. So this is the poisoning of organophosphate and carbamates. Because organophosphate and carbamate, they increase acetylcholine level. The antidote of organophosphate and carbamate we have just discussed is atropine. So let's recall how to identify. This question comes every time in FMG exam. Organophosphate and carbamate poisoning. Remember, organophosphate and carbamates, they are used as an insecticides. They are used as an insecticides. And insecticides are very commonly used by farmers in our country to protect their crops from insects. So in question, farmer word will be there. And these organophosphates and carbamate, they increase acetylcholine level in the body. They increase acetylcholine level in the body. And if there is increase in acetylcholine level, all the body secretions will increase. So what are the features? Dumbbells. Dumbbells mein you can see all secretions are increased: diarrhea, urination, lacrimation, salivation and sweating. There is meiosis. Meiosis के साथ लिखोगे pinpoint pupil is seen in which poisoning? Organophosphate and carbamate poisoning. There is bradycardia. ये भी word याद रखना है आपने, bradycardia. Now how to remember their name? Organophosphate, try to remember malathion. ये पूछा जाता है. And there are certain gaseous form, nerve gases, tabun, sarin, suman. They are nerve gases used during warfares. Here in carbamate poisoning, carb word will come, LD carb, carbaryl. Fine. Now here a point you have to remember that physostigmine and neostigmine are also carbamate. Now, what is the antidote? The antidote is block acetylcholine receptors. The antidote for their poisoning is atropine. क्या देना है बेटा? Atropine देना है. But in cases of OP poisoning, we add pralidoxime. Pralidoxime reactivate which enzyme? कोलिन एस्टेरेस एंजाइम. कौन सा एंजाइम रिएक्टिवेट कर देता है? कोलिन एस्टेरेस एंजाइम को रिएक्टिवेट कर देता है. एट्रोपिन क्यों देते हो? टू कंट्रोल द सिम्टम्स ऑफ डंबल. टू कंट्रोल द सिम्टम्स ऑफ डंबल. सिम्टम्स को कंट्रोल करने के लिए क्या देते हैं? एट्रोपिन. नाउ बेटा आई वांट टू आस्क यू वन क्वेश्चन. इफ एट्रोपिन इज कंट्रोलिंग द सिम्टम्स ऑफ डंबल्स, व्हाट इफेक्ट एट्रोपिन प्रोड्यूस? एट्रोपिन कौन सा इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस करेगा? So if you talk about atropine poisoning, which is seen in a plant, which is obtained from a plant datura. Atropine poisoning का मतलब होता है datura poisoning. इस प्लांट का दूसरा नाम होता है belladonna. Belladonna means beautiful lady. Belladonna poisoning and datura poisoning is nothing as atropine poisoning. Remember, atropine block acetylcholine receptors. Especially which receptor? Muscarinic receptors. And the clinical feature will be decrease in all body secretion. सारी secretion कम हो जाएगी. Opposite of dumbbells. तो tell me, sweating ज्यादा होगी कि कम होगी? Sweating ज्यादा होगी कि कम होगी? कम होगी. If there is decrease in sweating, body temperature will increase. Why there is hyperthermia? Because of decrease in sweating. Very important, many times asked. Because there is hot skin, there is a hot skin, there is vasodilation on skin, skin will become red. Red and hot skin is seen in atropine poisoning. Fine, vasodilation will happen. Instead of salivation and lacrimation, there will be dry eyes and dry mouth. Instead of miosis or pinpoint pupil, there will be mydriasis and paralysis of lens, loss of accommodation, cycloplegia. Acetylcholine was increasing memory. Atropine, by blocking acetylcholine, sudden memory loss, which will create confusion, delirium, confusional state. Plus decrease all body secretion. Instead of diarrhea, constipation. Instead of urination, urinary retention. Instead of bradycardia and dumbbells, tachycardia. I hope all the features of atropine poisoning are clear to you. Opposite of dumbbell. Now, what is the antidote of atropine poisoning? Anyone? Antidote of atropine poisoning is physostigmine. Antidote of atropine poisoning is physostigmine carbamate, because it increases acetylcholine levels. Okay, fine, easy, good. एक क्वेश्चन पक्का है यहां से. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉल्स अबाउट मोशन सिकनेस. लास्ट से शुरू करते हैं. इन मोशन सिकनेस, टू स्टॉप वॉमिटिंग, एंटी एमिटिक्स प्रोड्यूस सेडेशन एज एन एडवर्स इफेक्ट. यस, सबसे नींद आती है. फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटीहिस्टामिनिक्स आर मोर इफेक्टिव देन सेकंड जनरेशन. ट्रू. Hyoscine diphenhydramine can be applied as a patch behind the skin, posterior auricular area. True. Antiemetics should be taken when nausea and vomiting start. False. They should be taken at least 30 minutes before journey. Remember, they are not for treatment of vomiting, they are for prevention of motion and sickness. So let's talk about motion sickness. What happens in motion sickness? Let's say you sit in car or bus, your head rotates, है ना, head rotate करता है. In vestibule or inner ear, we have vestibular nerve. We have vestibular nerve. And this vestibular nerve becomes stimulated. It goes to CTZ area of the brain, which leads to nausea and vomiting. This is what motion sickness happens. Remember, on vestibular nerve, we have two receptors, M1, muscarinic 1, H1, histaminic 1. And this receptor causes nausea and vomiting. That is why in motion sickness, we have to block this receptor. We have to block this receptor. So we have anti-muscarinic drug, scopolamine or hyoscine. It blocks muscarinic 1, anti-muscarinic. And we have drug like diphenhydramine, etc. They are antihistaminic. Now remember, they are first generation antihistaminic because they can cross blood-brain barrier, and inner ear or vestibule is a part of brain. Only first generation. Now how to remember the names of these drugs? Very easy. Drugs for motion sickness, either they will end with the word amine, either they will end with the word amine, or they will end with the word zine. इनके एंड में amine या फिर zine word आएगा. Do you agree? Promethazine, cyclizine, meclizine, cenarizine. Agreed? Amine or zine word will come. Now can you tell me which drugs can be given as a transdermal patch? Amine वाले के zine वाले. Which drugs are given as a transdermal patch? जिन drugs में amine आता है, they can be given as a transdermal patch. Most commonly we apply this patch in posterior auricular area behind pinna over mastoid process. अमीन वाले ड्रग्स हम कैसे दे सकते हैं? पैच की तरह भी दे सकते हैं. साइड इफेक्ट क्या है? नींद आती है. Then we have, this is motion sickness. Let's talk about morning sickness. You know, morning sickness is nausea and vomiting which occurs during the first trimester of pregnancy. And here the drug of choice is doxylamine with vitamin B6 pyridoxine. Doxylamine क्या है? Doxylamine is also antihistaminic drug, first generation. Mountain sickness. Here the patient has respiratory depression. When the patient goes on to the mountain, here the drug of choice is acetazolamide. Here the drug of choice is acetazolamide. Next question. What dose of epinephrine is used in anaphylactic shock? So the answer of this question is option number C. Okay. So let me tell you all the shocks and which dose of epinephrine should be used in which shock. Fine. So let's talk about first septic shock, neurogenic shock, cardiogenic shock, which you can write it as acute heart failure with hypotension. In these three shocks, the drug of choice is norepinephrine. Most commonly, we give 1 ml of 1:1000, which is also known as 1 milligram per ml. 1:1000 का दूसरा नाम 1 milligram per ml. If cardiogenic shock occurs without hypotension, then we give dobutamine. So here the drug of choice is dobutamine. Dobutamine is also the drug of choice for stress echocardiography because this dobutamine stimulate only and only beta 1 receptor on heart. ये और कहीं काम नहीं करता. नॉरएपिनेफ्रिन हार्ट पे भी काम करता है, ब्लड वेसल्स पे भी काम करता है, हाइपोटेंशन को भी ठीक कर देता है. नाउ इफ कार्डियोजेनिक शॉक अकर्स विद ओलिगोयूरिया, ओलिगोयूरिया मींस किडनी काम नहीं कर रही, patient is having acute renal failure, here we give a drug dopamine, because I will be telling you dopamine will also act on kidneys as well. Then we have anaphylactic shock, CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Here the drug of choice is epinephrine. So epinephrine is given in anaphylactic shock. The dose is 0.5 ml of 1:10,000, just 1000 intramuscularly, ये याद रखना है. While during cardiac arrest और CPR, ACLS, BCLS guideline पढ़ी होंगी, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, here again we give epinephrine, but the dose is different. 1 ml of 1:10,000 करना है. या तो IV देना है, अगर वेन्स कोलैप्स्ड हैं तो IO देना है, ऑशियस देना है बोन में. मोस्ट कॉमन बोन इज टिबिया. इन रेजिस्टेंट शॉक टू एनी ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ड्रग वी एड अ ड्रग वेसोप्रेसिन. अगर इनमें से कोई भी शॉक में इफेक्ट नहीं आता, देन वी गिव वेसोप्रेसिन. फाइन. सो दीस आर द डोज यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. ड्रग ऑफ चॉइस यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. बेस्ट विशेस.